Mr. President, members of the International Olympic Committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me to address you today and to present the bid of Sochi to host the Olympic Winter Games in 2014. The bid has enthusiastic support of the whole of Russia. We pledge to make the stay of Olympians and Paralympians, spectators, journalists, guests in Sochi a safe, enjoyable and memorable experience. Sochi is a unique place. On the seashore, you can enjoy a fine spring day, but up in the mountains, it's winter. I went skiing there 6 or 7 weeks ago, and I know real snow's guaranteed. The ancient Greeks lived around Sochi lots of centuries ago. I also saw the rock near Sochi, to which, as legend has it, Prometheus was chained. It was Prometheus who gave people fire, fire which ultimately is the Olympic flame. We guarantee that the Olympic cluster in Sochi will be completed on time. We are allocating around sum of $12 billion for this. The cluster is going to become a regional, national and international sports venue. Special emphasis is placed on environment, security, infrastructure, up-to-date means of mass communication. 70% of participants will be housed within a 5-minute walking distance of the competition venues. 5-minute walking distance. Not bad, really. Ladies and gentlemen, the city of Sochi has exclusive offers. We are working on a list of special privileges for participants and guests of the Games. For example, we plan to lift all restrictions on the minimum stay of the delegations. This will be backed up by a special law. I have already signed a decree to this effect. And one more special privilege. No traffic jams, I promise. You may know that we in Russia turn a sports competition into a really spectacular event. And we are good at it. In the past 25 years, we have had more than 100 major competitions. The recent World Ice Hockey Championship in Moscow was a big success too, I mean. Russia is ready to host the Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games in 2014. The Olympic family is going to feel at home in Sochi. Mr. President, members of the International Olympic Committee, ladies and gentlemen, millions of citizens of Russia are united by the Olympic dream. Winter sports are very popular in Russia. Our athletes have scored many victories and have made major contributions to the Olympic movement. But we have not yet had the honor to celebrate the Winter Olympics. Our national pledge to you is the choice of Sochi is the best choice. But whatever decision you make, Sochi's Olympic bid has already brought its benefits. The Olympic cluster in Sochi will be the first world-class mountain sports center in the new Russia. Let me point out that after the breakup of the Soviet Union, Russia has lost all sports venues in the mountains. Would you believe it? Even today, our national teams have no mountain venues in Russia for training. The state-of-the-art Sochi Sports Center is our present to all athletes, Olympians and would-be Olympians, to citizens of Russia and guests from abroad. Sochi is going to become a new world-class resort for the new Russia and the whole world. And we shall be happy to see you in Russia and in Sochi as our guests. Monsieur le Président, membres du CEO, Mesdames et Messieurs, soutenez s'il vous plaît le rêve olympique de millions de Russes qui attendent votre décision avec l'espoir. Je vous remercie.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to greet members and guests of the General Assembly of the International Exhibitions Bureau. Russia has a long and rich experience of participation in the World Expo movement. We took part in the very first Universal Exhibition in London in 1851, at the Paris Exhibition in 1900. Our pavilion won the Colded Gold Medal and Grand Prix. But in all this time, Russia has not hosted the World Expo, not once. Surely, time has come to change this. So, we proudly submit our bid to host World Expo 2020 in Yekaterinburg, a dynamic and promising city. Our bids organizing committee has the full backing of the Russian government. We guarantee it will be a priority national project. We are going to build a massive state-of-the-art complex with the capacity to host 30 million visitors over the course of the event. We plan to allocate all the necessary funding for its construction. I am confident we shall welcome guests from 150 nations of the world with pride and dignity. Now, once again, I would like to make this very clear. Russia guarantees to fulfill the complete range of requirements set by the International Exhibitions Bureau. In particular, we are preparing a special program of support for developing countries. This will enable around 90 countries to freely participate in the Expo, completely free of charge. I can assure you that our grand-scale plans for 2020 will be delivered if Yekaterinburg is given the honor to host World Expo 2020. Thank you for your attention, and I hope for your support.
Was unprecedented access to Russia's powerful Prime Minister, the former KGB spy, now increasingly at odds with Washington. As we toured his official residence near the Black Sea, there was a rare exchange in English.
Do you think that this is a turning point in relations between Russia and the West? Do you think that period of post-war calm has come to an end?
I think no. I hope no. All of us, we need cooperation in some areas. We said about it during our talks, our meeting.
Dear members of International Ice Hockey Federation, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to address you today and to thank you for your decision to honor the bid of the Russian Federation to host their World Hockey Cup in 2016. Hockey is an international game, and it used to be our national pastime. Indeed, our hockey teams have achieved many victories at both Olympic and World Championships in competition with the most formidable opponents. The list of our world-famous hockey players, Mr. Tretiak, Harlamov, Yakushев, Petrov, Mikhailov, Firsov, Polupanov, Kasatonov, Fetisov, goes on and on. Russia deserves to host this championship, not just to commemorate our glorious achievements and not just because we have not been awarded his honor in decades, but because of our great desire to stage a great event and promote the ideas of sportsmanship, athleticism, fair play. In fact, today we need a new starting point to revive the spirit of hockey. And I took time to learn to skate, and I must admit it was not easy, not even for a person who had been practicing sports for decades. And I had even harder time learning to play ice hockey. But and now
I have first-hand experience of playing this truly great game. Russia is eager to host this great event. We shall provide top-quality skating rinks and beautiful ice, not because it is so cold for much of the year in Russia, but because we shall put our hearts and minds in the work to be done. Athletes, fans, reporters will find excellent service and warm welcome in any weather. We shall also provide free passage to and from events. And there are going to be other perks too. Russia is and has for a long time been devoted to hockey. But today we need a new starting point to revitalize the spirit of this great game on a big scale. And we would love to share it with the whole world. Thank you for your attention.
Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, let me declare the 126th session of the International Olympic Committee open.
Dear judokas, sensei, guests, dear friends, congratulations to the prize holders and winners in the championships. It is a pleasure to say 2 words to you in Wien, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Wien balance tradition and dynamic. Wien is gentle and dynamic. And this is philosophy of judo, balance traditions, respect for law, for sensei, for your opponents. Let Vienna see the best of judo tomorrow, and may the best judokas win.